Hey guys, welcome to Godly Garden Homestead. I'm Christina. This is my daughter Destiny, and we are gardeners in Virginia in Zone 7B. Now, today, I'm going to let you know right now, I'm doing a voiceover again because the whole video is muted. So I cannot try to match my words for this video, but I'm going to try my best because I do not want to try to record this again. And also because all of the stuff that I made, I'm not going to remake it. So we're outside right now and we're getting ready to make some tinctures. I don't know what I'm talking about right now, but we're talking about making some tinctures because I've been having a bad toothache. And so we are going to get ready to pick some toothache plant and make some medicinal tinctures. I'm going to walk you step by step through all of these tinctures, the benefits of each of these plants, and all of that good stuff. We're going to be mixing it with alcohol. I just read my lips and that's what I said. Something about some alcohol, mixing it together. And it's going to be absorbing all of the constituents from the herbs. The alcohol tinctures are, see, this ain't going to work. This is not gonna work. Oh my gosh, y'all, bear with me. Bear with me. I don't want to lose this footage. Okay, so here we go with the toothache plant. I started this from seed this summer, and we are just going to take the mature flowers off and harvest these. This is a perennial herb, so it will die back and it will grow back again. The darker, drier seeds we can take off and we can save some seeds. We've already saved some seeds. Making sure that we're saving the smaller ones to give them the opportunity to continue to grow. But we're going to take the larger ones and harvest those. This is me showing you the dried seeds. The flower has dried, and all you do is crumble it up, and all those black dots in there are seeds. It's just that easy to collect the seeds. And then I'm just going to dump the seeds back in here, and then we're going to get new plants to grow. And then there's Destiny throwing 50 more seeds in there, so we're going to have a bunch of little babies popping out. And we have a small little harvest, but that'll be enough. So now we're just going to rinse them off. And then we're going to get a paper towel. I actually went back outside and harvested some leaves because I know that the leaves are edible as well. And I usually just chew on the fresh flower, but I'm pretty sure it'll be more helpful when I'm trying to chew on a fresh leaf as opposed to a fresh flower or these dried flowers that I have right there. So I'm probably going to make another tincture with the dried flowers, but I wanted to get some of the leaves and try some of the leaves out because I have been suffering from some type of tooth pain, and all you do is pop the leaf or the flower in your mouth and chew on it. Don't swallow it because your throat will be very numb and tingly, and you can feel the little tingly sensation on whatever part that you chew on. And right now I can feel it in the back on the left side of my mouth. Destiny is like, no, this is not it. I gotta spit this out. We have our jar that we're going to use for our tincture. And we're just going to do what we call the folk method. And the folk method is that we are not actually going to measure it. We're going to put our plant material in our jar, in our whatever type of container that we're going to use. And then we're just going to fill the remainder with alcohol. Now I'm using 100 proof alcohol. This is Smirnoff vodka, which is actually a 50% alcohol. So 100 proof is 50% alcohol. And there's stronger ones and there's weaker ones. I've also used Everclear, which has a stronger alcohol content. Now, we just want to make sure that we are filling up our jar to make sure that our plant material is covered. And then we're going to get our wax paper and cover the top of our jar with the wax paper to make sure that the jar does not rust, to make sure that no moisture, no water, none of that stuff harms or gets to our tincture that we're making. And then we're just going to shake it up and make sure that all of our plant material is covered. We'll come back and check on it in a couple of hours or a day or so once all the stuff settles to make sure that all of the plant material is covered. And then we're just going to get our label. And on our label, we're going to write what is in our jar. So we're going to make sure that we are putting that we use a toothache plant, and we can put that we use fresh toothache. And we're going to put the type of menstruum. Menstruum is the liquid that we're using. So we're going to put that we use 100 proof Smirnoff vodka. And then we're going to put our date, because those are the only two things that are inside of there. The toothache plant and the 100 proof or 50% alcohol, the vodka. And then we'll put our label on there and make sure we put our date. And what I typically do is set it in a cool, dry, dark place, which is in my pantry. My pantry is pretty deep, so the back of my pantry is dark, and I will set it in there. And then I will come and shake it up every day, every so often, just to check on it, make sure that the alcohol is getting all of the constituents, all of the medicinal properties from out of our plant material. And some people do a 30 days. They wait 30 days and then they'll strain it. You typically do 4 weeks. This right here is a headache tincture that I made last year. When you use alcohol-based tinctures, the shelf life is very long. It could last a few years. So this tincture right here is a headache tincture that has feverfew, it has chamomile and lavender, and this was made with Everclear last year. This is something that, as you can see, how much is left in the jar. I have been using this consistently and constantly. These herbs work amazing, especially the feverfew. So what we're going to do is we are going to refill our dropper bottle. We had headache tincture in here. We used it all. I cleaned the bottle out, and we're just going to take our label off, add more, and relabel our tincture. And there's our new label with the date that the tincture was made and also the date that it was bottled up. And we're just going to use our little funnel for our dropper bottles. All you need to do is take a few drops underneath the tongue. So strong. That's made with the Everclear. I think that's like 150 proof. We're going to have to get new mics. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how long the mic was off. Oh my goodness. And this is my second time getting the mic, getting a new pair of mics. Okay. So the feverfew is a perennial herb, and it has anti-inflammatory and pain relieving properties. It's good for a fever. It helps reduce fever, and it also has other beneficial effects. It's good for migraine prevention and relief. Again, the anti-inflammatories such as rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and other inflammatory disorders. It helps reduce inflammation, the pain relief, the fever reduction. It's a good for digestive health, menstrual pain relief. It has antioxidant properties and potential cardiovascular benefits as well to help potentially lower blood pressure and reduce cholesterol. I'm going to use this bowl since I did not get me a bowl to put this in. All right, so we have our bowl right here. We're going to use to catch that. We're just going to put our feverfew in here, just like that. I really don't feel like I need that. We just bought the album. Okay, that looks pretty good. Again, we doing the folk method, which is until it feels about right. Why is it? I missed it. I tried to. Okay. We got to give it time to settle and all of that. So, let's get our wax paper. Okay. All right. And then we have, let's shake it up, see what it's looking like once it settles and stuff. Then we have our feverfew tincture. And again, I'm not a professional. I have no type of licensing. None of those things. I'm just a curious woman who has taken a few courses online to learn the basics of herbalism. So right here we have our feverfew tincture with our 100 proof vodka, and we made this on the 17th. So we're just gonna label that as well. And just like the instructions that we had for the other tincture, the same thing. 4 to 8 weeks, shake it up, cool, dry, dark place, and then we'll strain it. We've bottled up our headache tincture. We've made our toothache tincture. We've made a feverfew tincture. The next thing I'm going to do is actually bottle up some echinacea glycerite that was made out of vegetable glycerin, which is used for younger kids or people that don't prefer the taste of alcohol. They don't want to use the alcohol, so we can use glycerin. So, which is why they're called glycerites. As far as the glycerites, they have a syrupy, sweet taste to them. Now, they aren't as powerful as the tinctures that's made with the alcohol, but they still work very well. They're also good for flowers and leafy plant material, not so much as extracting the medicinal properties from barks and woody things like the dandelion root, the roots, the barks, and the seeds. Those are going to need something different, something stronger. And a lot of times, sometimes those things are boiled to pull the medicinal properties out of them. So the glycerites are usually made with a vegetable glycerin or an animal glycerin, like beef glycerin or something like that. When I made these, I was on a vegan fast, and so I used the vegetable glycerin instead of using animal fat. So what we are going to do, she's looking at me like, what? Animal fat? So what we are going to do is, and I feel like the term is decant. I really feel like that's the term. See, I told you I'm still learning, but I feel like that's the term. So what we're going to do is get our dropper and get us a lid for our dropper. And let's see. Get our dropper bottle and then get our lid for our dropper. Get our dropper bottle and then get our dropper. There we go. Okay. And we're using a new one of these, so we're not cross-contaminating anything. And I feel like this is going to spill everywhere, so I'm going to get something else to help pour that. You can either use something like this, which is what I use to suck the liquids up to make gummies, to put them in the gummy molds, which did not turn out too well. But then you can also use a medical syringe, and we're just going to suck this up just like that. Mm-hmm. This is just helping us so we don't spill it, and we can save as much of this glycerite that we have created. Okay, one more. Good job. All right. So now just going to put the lid on this just like that. And let's make our label. There we go. For the echinacea glycerite, whether you do an echinacea glycerite or whether you do an echinacea tincture, and echinacea, also known as the purple cone flower, it has immune support, helps boost your immune support by enhancing the production of white blood cells. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It has antioxidant effects. It helps for cold and flu relief. It also says it helps with wound healing, respiratory health, antibacterial, and antiviral effects. So this can be used in the mouth. You can just drop a few in your mouth. You can add this to a drink, maybe a tea, a smoothie, whatever. It has a sweet taste to it. It's like a syrupy taste. So I would definitely give this to kids, number one, but also add a couple of drops into a tea, something like that. But again, I am not a doctor, and you do not know how any of this stuff is going to affect your body. So this is why you always want to consult with your physician before trying anything that you haven't tried before, especially if you are on some type of medication. And I keep talking to the camera and keep forgetting to look into the camera, but sorry. All right, so we have those And what are we going to do next? So this is a, we're going to keep this in here, but this is a lemon balm and echinacea glycerite. So it's not only going to boost the immune system, but it's also going to help give you that calming effect, help you if you're like tired and have that anxiety and all of those things, because lemon balm is great for that. Let's see, some of the other things that I made an adaptogenic tincture. So an adaptogenic tincture is used with herbs that are adaptogens, which means that you have to take them for a longer amount of time for your body to adapt with them. So this adaptogenic tincture is to help with stress. So over time, taking this over a few months, it's going to help your body just mellow out overall, so you won't be as stressful as you usually are. So this is made with holy basil, licorice root, and ashwagandha. And those things, especially the ashwagandha, it's like an energy booster. It helps with your energy. It also helps with your libido. It helps with those things to boost your energy, and this adaptogen over time, it's just going to help even you out. So I have this in tincture form. Well, this is a tincture, but I have this in the little dropper bottle already, so I don't need to add any more of that. This is a fertility womb wellness that I made, and this is with shiitake, nettle leaf, and raspberry, and all of those things help with the women's productive system. And this was before I started learning maybe I should just make the tinctures individually and then mix them together as needed. So instead of making this whole womb health, I should have just did a tincture of I think it's shiitake, and then the nettle leaf by itself, and then the raspberry leaf by itself, because now I have this huge thing that I don't rarely use, but it will be used. And then I have an anxiety tincture that I made. And this is an anxiety glycerite. I made this glycerite for myself, as also as a family member of mine, that we both deal with anxiety. But the last thing that we want to do is take the anxiety tincture and have the alcohol going in our systems while we're trying to calm ourselves from the anxiety. So this is a glycerite, and this has oat straw, motherwort, and lemon balm in it. And another herb that's very good for anxiety is St. John's wort. So we did our feverfew. We did not do an ashwagandha. So we're going to do an ashwagandha and we're going to do an elderberry syrup. We have an echinacea glycerite, so I don't think I'm going to do an echinacea tincture. I think let's just do the ashwagandha then. Ashwagandha. Why do I keep saying ashwagandha? We're going to do the ashwagandha next. This is our ashwagandha root. And this is a mood enhancer, and it relieves depression. It helps to improve the sleep quality and cognitive function and memory. It is an energy and stamina boost. It also helps to boost the immune system, helps to balance out your hormones. It has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It's a blood sugar regulator. It helps with the cardiovascular health. Like again, I said, and it also helps with the libido. As you can see, this is just an all around great medicinal herb to use. So that's why we're going to make a tincture of it by itself, and we can mix that tincture with other things. Also, by doing the individual tinctures, you can try them out for yourself by themselves, so you can see, okay, well, when I took this ashwagandha, it made me feel weird, as opposed to we have ashwagandha and echinacea mixed together, and then you have an adverse reaction and you don't know which one made you feel that way. So that's why it's best that we do it separately. So we're going to go ahead and pour our ashwagandha in here. All right. And then let's pour our liquid in here. I don't know about you, but you don't know about me, but what? I'm doing the top and some of the a lot is on the bottom. Yeah, I know. It's gonna it's all gonna mellow up. Yeah. All right. And let's put our lid on. Will your fingers? All right, shake it up. And there we go. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. Our other one. Right here. What's that one? It's guys, I don't know what it's called. We just made it. I don't know. Ashwagandha? No. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. I was close though. Oh, were you? Was that close? Yeah. Okay, the last one we are going to make is our holy basil, which is, I think, the best herb. The best herb. Okay, get our holy basil over there. The jumbo size. As you can tell, that's why it is our biggest container that we have. Bigger than my hand. Actually, my hand is bigger than this. Actually, but not this part. This. When we were talking a few minutes ago about the adaptogens, holy basil is one of those. It has stress relief and adaptogenic properties, which over time is just going to help balance you out, even you out, mellow you out, help you cope and adapt to all the different stresses. Don't put your fingers in there. So it's an adaptogen. It helps with mental clarity. It helps with anxiety and depression. It has anti-inflammatory effects, antioxidant protection. It helps to boost the immune system. It has antimicrobial, antiviral, and antifungal properties, which is good for illnesses such as colds, coughs, and the flu. It's also been used as a preventative for flu seasons and outbreaks of contagious diseases. It helps with cardiovascular health, with the blood pressure and cholesterol, and helps balance blood sugar levels. It's good for respiratory health like bronchitis, asthma, and coughs, and helps reduce inflammation in the lungs and helps to ease breathing. The microbial properties as well, treating and respiratory infections, is good for digestive health, such as stimulating your appetite, improving digestion, and soothing the stomach. It also relieves indigestion, gas, bloating, and acid reflux. And it helps protect the liver and improve detoxifying functions, contributing to overall digestive wellness. It's also good at balancing the hormones, which we talked about, balancing of the hormones as being an adaptogen. It's also good for PMS, menstrual cramps, and helps with symptoms of menopause. It has anti-cancer properties. So it's under preliminary research, but they have found promising effects to help with anti-cancer properties to fight the effects of the carcinogens. And it has been shown to boost detoxification pathways in the body that may prevent cancer cell proliferation. It says it's good with skin health, such as acne, eczema, and rashes due to anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and its antifungal properties. So, and it also can be used topically. So it can be used in a tea, capsules, tablets, tinctures, what we're about to make, essential oils. You can eat the fresh leaves. You can put it in a salad, whatever you want to do. And it can be ground into a powder. Holy basil, I feel like that's why they call it holy basil. Also known as Tulsi. So,
can I do it?
Can you do what? Just no, this is too heavy. Actually, we're not even gonna. I don't want you to spill it.
Oh.
That's not. Many of these herbs were purchased from Mountain Rose Herb in bulk form. And now, actually, I can't remember if I purchased the holy basil from Mountain Rose Herb or did I purchase it from Anthony's. I might have purchased the calendula from Anthony's, but it just smells so good. You don't like the smell of holy?
No.
She don't like the smell of a lot of things. I think it smells so good.
It smells so bad.
No, it doesn't. To me, it has
Trust me.
No, trust me.
Trust me, everybody. Give me 1 million likes and views.
Trust me. She doesn't.
Trust me.
She doesn't like peanut butter. She doesn't like honey.
I like peanut butter.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. So let's go ahead. She said a little bit.
Oh.
I've never seen her eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or peanut butter sandwich.
I ate one before, but I just don't eat them no more.
We are going to fill this baby up.
I use all of it.
Because it's going to expand.
It's going to explode.
It's not going to explode.
It's whole body.
Remember, I put a little too much up in there. A little too much holy basil. We shall see.
Could I do it?
So we can always tweak it a little bit. Come back in a couple of days, see how it has all settled. And if we don't like it, we can divide this into another jar and then add more alcohol if need be. All of that. So we'll see.
We're going to put this on.
Which is what we're also going to do with the other herbs as well, just to check on them. Now let's put our lid on it. Yeah. And we don't have to be fancy. You don't have to buy the... Ooh, hold on now. Hold on. Because I don't... Why is that turning the shit?
Mommy.
I don't think this is a lid for this. Okay. This is way better. This jar, because we need a jar that's actually going to...
That's good.
We need a jar with a lid that's actually going to close. Alrighty. So we switched our jar. And again, you don't have to have those ball jars, those ball mason jars. I have a bunch of different types of jars. I use tomato cans, tomato jars, pickle jars, any type of glass jar that you have, you can use. I just didn't get around to soaking this and peeling the paper off, but that's all you have to do. And if you don't want to, you don't even have to peel the paper off. But don't throw your glass jars away when you buy things. That's free glassware for you. for your tinctures, for if you're doing, if you're a canner, if you can things, always save those things. So that is our holy basil tulsi tincture. And I think that's going to be the last tincture that we'll make. We'll come back and do another video to do our elderberry syrup, because that's going to be something different. We're going to be cooking that on the stove. Well, not cooking it, but we're going to be making this on the stove, and then we'll bottle this up. We also have our cough syrup that we have made, that we've just been shaking it up. I don't know if you made your cough syrup, but I made mine. Quick little update on our cough syrup. Right now it's in the upside down position because we flipped it. We have all our good medicinal honey down here that's working. And now we're just going to flip it back up. Going to flip it back up this way. So we made this one in our video. Then I went back once I got some local honey and I made another jar. So we got our honey in progress. We have our fire ciders, and I did another fire cider. So we have 5 jars of fire cider now. We have our 2 jars of honey. Right now we only have 1 little jar of our elderberry syrup, a little bit of elderberry syrup left. So we need to make some more of that as soon as possible, which we will be making in our next video. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for spending this time with us. I hope that you learned something. And if you already knew all this information, I am so glad that you did. I'm so glad that you are proactive in taking steps in your life to make sure that you and your family are healthy. If you have any tips that you would want to share, definitely drop them in the comments, because again, I am not a professional. I am a beginner herbalist. I've only been doing this for about a year and a half, going on 2 years now. And I just want to continue to learn. I just want to continue to grow. And so I want this community to grow as well, so that we can share the things that we're learning with one another. So again, thank you for joining us today. We will keep an update on all of our tinctures. We're going to make sure that we put our tinctures in our pantry in a place that is dark and dry, so that they can just start extracting, and we'll check on it within a couple of days to make sure that our herbs are fully covered. We can see the color changing already. And we're just going to shake it up every now and then we'll come back when it's time to decant this. And I'm pretty sure it's decant. Strain it, decant it, put it in another container, or put it back in this container, or whatever we're going to do with it. We'll come back when that time is right. But until then, thank you again so much for joining us on our journey. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.